Last time, our hero sold a gnome an axe after making him dance naked, had a 4 a.m. twerk party in the Dead Mines dungeon, attained 2 pieces of blue gear, and got slaughtered by the horde countless times. Continuing the adventure, I traveled to Lakeshire and contracted scoliosis after drinking an indigenous brew of psychoactive alkaloids. Swakwicktus would come to find that when you're under a 10-minute scoliosis debuff, there's nothing you can do but just wait it out and let nature run its course. By the way, due to my own scoliosis, I get to make as many jokes as I want. I wish I was straight, but God made me this way. Y'all ever had so much gangster lean you'd need surgery to get rid of it? Pause for laughter. This is where you laugh. I'm trying to remember a joke someone told me about a week back, but I can't get it straight. Honestly, as a person with scoliosis, I don't think I'm that different. I'm like a normal guy, but with a twist. I then tried fishing with these 2 kids, only to realize that the dwarven fishing pole I had was actually a gun. The downside was that Roger and Jemin would have to fish on their own. The silver lining was that I now had a fucking gat. After doing parkour for 15 minutes to get on top of this building, by the way, I live a very fulfilling life, I found a group to take down one bad hombre of an elite mob, Gathilzog. This was the first time I would use corpse running as a legitimate strategy. You run up to his castle and die. Then you zoom right past the ridiculous number of elite mobs that occupy the castle and go straight to the throne room, where you all resurrect at the same time. That is if I had actually paid any attention to the instructions. Now, optimally, this is where we'd all res, take out the 2 regular elite mobs, regenerate all our health, and take out Gathilnog. But need I remind you that WoW Classic is a fuckers game. Half our party wipes just fighting the first 2 dudes. And it was whilst awaiting their return that I noticed Blizzard had changed our guild name. Not a good look. Anyways, we all ready up for the fight. They give me the green light to get this show on the road. I charge in, forget to pop my healing potion, and pretty much get murked immediately. Without a tank, everyone dies and half the party leaves. Luckily, it is a pretty popular quest, so we quickly got replacements. Although we did have to wait for them to go through the process of corpse walking. This time around, we hit it like it's Y2K. I fear the mobs, completely ruining the fight for everyone. I was then banished from playing the game for like 15 seconds. It's a reoccurring theme in WoW to be CC'd for over 10 seconds. And in retrospect, this actually saved me from dying. In my opinion, Gathilzog is a bit of a boss man G when you really get down to brass tacks. Not a good day to be our mage though. I managed to loot Gathilzog's head moments before dying and say sayonara, it's been my utmost pleasure, and I'm moving on to the next quest, losers.
Damn! Okay guys, the strat, I get. Do you guys agree that WoW is a fuckers game? Not you guys being like, yeah, WoW's low-key a fuckers game. Oof. Okay, let's start. That's literally me when I play Yu-Gi-Oh! I want that to be me.
In light of recent demonetizations, you will not be seeing any more naked gnomes on this channel. It's entirely my fault for thinking YouTube could handle such graphic content. I have come up with a new motto to show that I truly have changed. I say, Azeroth for all. So let's just all have a good friendly time here. Let's just have some fun. See, that's what I love about the classic community. It's just a community, and it's just... And if I recall correctly, I then went into the Stockades dungeon and wiped.
Can I get an 07? Can I get an 07 to the monetization for this stream? Twitch is fine, probably. YouTube, however, they will be taking the singular cent away from me. They will be taking the 1 cent away from me. So that's one more day we can't get Rogue Trader, guys. 07's in the chat.
Immediately. Then I involuntarily left the party. In a moment of despair, I actually considered buying a new WoW GF.
Whoa!
But saner minds prevailed. Then I leveled to the appropriate level, got a bit of gear. You know, you need a little
Lots
bit
of
of gear
gear.
in World of Warcraft. And then I tried the Stockades dungeon for real this time.
Ooh.
We make it to the final boss, where I tactically decide to fear the mobs, completely ruining the fight for everyone.
Oh,
the feared
shit.
mobs then go on to aggro every remaining enemy in the dungeon. We almost immediately wipe and have to run all the way back, and our healer really wasn't on point for this one, I have to say. But with World of Warcraft, you never know what to expect. You never know if you're gonna
Damn.
fuck everything up, or if the servers are gonna disconnect, or maybe it's, what's the mix-up? Reversal, and the boss actually fears you into all the other mobs, aggroing them, making your party wipe, having to walk
shit.
all the way back. This is my real laughter. Dead Mines is engaging and really well designed, whereas the Stockades is boring and shit, which is exactly why I did it twice. I
Okay.
hadn't picked the quest chain that leads to the Seal of Rin, a ring I really wanted. I wish someone had told me that I didn't have to do the dungeon for a second time, but I suppose it's a learning experience. Now you might recall the gnome who I made.
Oh,
Well, he messaged me out of the blue with an item upgrade. That's actually happy vibes and good karma.
Wow.
He requested we do Stockades before handing it over. After painstakingly going through Stockades for the 3rd time, he informs me that it's his weapon and he'd never give it to me. Now, there are many things I wish to call this gnome,
Damn.
all of which would leave me restricted by my technocratic overlords. So I'm just gonna tell you what happened next. I found the answer to the question. What
Okay.
would happen if you fell off a boat right before the zone that loads into the Eastern Kingdoms? Well, you'd have a very long time to think about the consequences of your actions.
okay.
Then I killed some cows.
Fucked up and evil. Why
And
would
I
you do
found
that?
out the hard way, you're not supposed to walk anywhere near the Terran Mill Death Guards. Then I took my frustrations out on this poor hunter who was just looking to level in peace. Grew tired of WoW PvP when I was quickly reminded that mages can just freeze you and blink away. Found the Stonehenge and decided to check my mailbox. I was kinda hoping you guys had sent me a bunch of gold so I could skank through this game like a primal fucking animal. Yet all I
Damn.
got was 69 copper, a glass of milk, and a note telling me to stick my hand inside. And
What
just
the
when you
fuck?
think you've seen it all, you realize World of Warcraft has so much more to offer. We tried to kill Balgaraz the Foul and died 5 times in a row. At which point
Ooh.
I decided that all the events that had just transpired simply wasn't gonna cut it. I would have to redeem the current state of affairs by entering yet another dungeon. I
Okay.
returned to Ashenvale, the southeast London of Azeroth, and subjected myself to a ghastly experience.
Okay.
I believe that entering Blackfathom Deeps when the hour's about to ding midnight is about as close as you can get to simulating the conditions in a black hole.
I'm not gonna lie, WoW is actually very pretty.
Hi besties, it's me, Miwa, and if you're enjoying today's video, please consider subscribing, okay? Like, please, 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 times 1,000,000,000. I'm like, really asking this of you, ne?
And I don't know why I think that. Because, like, you can see all the pixels, but I still think it's very pretty.
You start by finding a group of moderately intelligent humans with nothing better to do on a Tuesday night. On your way through Ashenvale and Zaram Strand, you may encounter harsh adversity, which you must overcome. Jump down this
Ooh.
water temple and swim into these narrow underground tunnels. Now mind you, we're still in contested territory, so you may run into a sizable group of Horde players. Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them.
Oh, shit.
Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them. Naturally, I did the only responsible Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them. Sorry,
Damn.
you know, times are tough. Had to outsource all my editing to a guy in Bangladesh. So if any of it seems poorly cut together, if any of it's immediately ambushed them. Bangladesh. Times are tough. It was rather unfortunate that
Damn.
they were 2 groups. They killed us, camped our corpses for 10 minutes, and then eventually moved on. We got absolutely cucked, having to move a safe distance behind them at a snail's pace, missing out on all the XP and items. After
Ooh.
going through the death tunnels, we entered Blackfathom Depths. Little did we know, we had a long night ahead of us.
We
This
do?
is how you can tell I was less of a Super Mario 64 person and more of a Diddy Kong Racing person.
Oh.
Boom. Now there's 2 quests for this dungeon that rely on RNG, and I'll have you know I completed neither. Drop rates in WoW Classic are notorious for being unreasonably low and very inconsistent, or as the community would put it, incredibly rewarding. BFD is definitely a much cooler dungeon than Stockades. You got a variety of different enemies, and it's set in this underwater cavern where you have to clear out sea witches before swimming through underwater tunnels. You get vibrant neon-esque green and purple colors
known for being
saturated
long.
to the gills. The item drops are actually worthwhile, and I'd put this on par with Dead Mines. It's
Okay.
just really well made. Other than fighting a few murlocs and sea threshers in Darkshore, this is the first time I really got my feet wet with underwater combat, and we were
Ooh.
fucking killing it. I was beginning to think that this was going to be a pretty clean run without any hiccups. That is until we reached the Temple of the Old Gods,
Okay.
or rather the entrance to the temple. This was the very moment where the extent of our ability to operate as a unit was revealed. We weren't very good. Zippin, bad effort, and yours truly tried fighting the mobs up on the sidewalk, until Dazar said, "Come down, quick!" At which point, 1 minute later, I immediately jumped down whilst the others stayed up top. As I tried to save Dazar, Hrothgar aggroes all the mobs and take them up to where I just jumped down from.
No!
Bad effort. Our healer lives up to his name and proceeds to flee the fight with full health. We then got sandwiched in the worst way possible and all died. Then it dawned on me that you have to walk all the way from the entrance to Ashenvale, through Zorem Strand, over to the temple, through the underwater caverns, to then enter BFD, and walk all the way through the dungeon every
Oh.
time you wipe. Something I would describe as a tedious process. So one could only hope that we weren't gonna die anymore.
Okay.
We made our way through the mobs that had previously brought us trouble, rolled for a chest, I didn't get it, and then jumped in the water to kill the old Sarakis. Once we slay the beast, I need for a cape that I have no use for, and get promptly disconnected from the Blizzard multiplayer experience. When I log back in, I can see I won the cape. It's got pretty much the same stats as my current one, but it's green. Now
Hell
that I
yeah.
really get a good look at it, I think I prefer the old one. Now, Dazar was a war-hardened WoW veteran. He knew this dungeon in and out, so the smart thing to do would be to just listen to his instructions as he knew his shit. He informs us to just pull 1 or 2 mobs at a time and fight them outside the temple. We
Okay.
do it and clear out all the smaller mobs. So far, so good. Now, he'd been preparing us for the boss fight. He told us for the last hour, over and over again, that once we kill the boss, we just shouldn't click anything. Something we've all agreed to on multiple occasions. Now, before killing the boss, he
Okay.
reminds us one last time, please don't touch anything. There's these 4 shrines, and it's vital that you guys don't activate any of them. Let me handle this part. I'm like, geez, does he think we're stupid or something? But as it turns out, this man just had a comprehensive understanding
Okay.
of the spectrum of intelligence you may encounter in this game. Allow me to walk you through our effective communications right after we kill the boss. I need one more pendant. Okay, so we don't touch anything. Well, still good pants for you. Menacingly walking towards the 4 shrines in silence. Fuck's sake, no one move. What now? Need one more pendant. Don't click anything. Need 1 pendant. Already? I need 2. I
Okay.
need 2. Don't click anything.
Okay.
Starts activating all 4 altars at once. Stop! What the fuck did I say? Look head. Oh, we can't just press them? Oh, wipe. Ready? Fuck, man. Now, we could have fought 1 horde of mobs at a time, but due to Hrothgar's mutiny, we were now facing 4. Needless to say, they wiped the floor with us, and we had to walk the damn
Stop.
pilgrimage yet again. After calling Hrothgar a donkey and a daydreamer, Bad Effort informs us that he had to go due to urgent matters in real life. At 1 a.m., we didn't really believe him, so we told him to suck it up and smoke through it. In the words of the donkey daydreamer himself, well, I can admit when I screwed up. I'm sorry there. See, that's what I...
No, stop. Okay, wait. If he apologizes, maybe I don't know. Am I still mad? Okay, he apologized. No, I'd still be pissed. I'd still be pissed. Who cares if you apologize? He's like, he just goes, oh yeah, I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Oh my god, that is insane. That is so fucked up and evil.
I love about Classic. It's just the community. I'm gonna post this interaction to the WoW Classic subreddit.
When we then make it to the temple, we
Okay.
face the unforeseen consequences of Hrothgar's actions. Every elite mob we summoned are clumped up in the same spot, making it impossible for us to fight them one at a time. We
Oh,
have to kill them
no.
if we want to make it to the final boss. One guy has to fucking go, so I make the executive decision to pull all the mobs,
Okay.
somehow, and I really don't know how. We perfectly executed optimal teamwork. We
Oh.
all focus the right mobs in the right order, keep the aggro perfectly split between the two tanks, and we kill every single mob without anyone dying.
Hell yeah.
Which opens the door to the ancient gods. As the final foe, Akumai, stands before us, I do what I do best. With a spring in my step, a glint in my eye, and a fire in my belly, I
Okay.
ruin everything because I'm not very talented. Zippin was tanking, everything was going smooth until our healer ran out of mana. Zippin's health started falling dangerously low.
No.
Akumai blocks my mocking blow, so he keeps attacking Zippin. I don't taunt the boss because I don't use defensive stance, and I forgot that I even had challenging shout. I don't think much of it, I mean, we've pretty much killed him already. Then, Akumai enrages and starts quickly chunking Zippin's health. As
Oh,
I
shit.
ponder which ability to use, I remember that I have challenging shout. Unfortunately, I opt to click on demoralizing shout, proving that I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this game. Within a 15-second time frame, Zippin dies.
Oh shit.
I die. Our healer dies. And finally, Dazar fell too, leaving everything up to Hrothgar, the man with a lukewarm IQ.
Can Hrothgar do it? No.
On his last attack, he actually manages to fucking do it, only to be taken down by one of the smaller mobs seconds later. His last words, "Damn you, turtle." Akumai drops a belt that none of us can really use and we leave the party. But you won't believe what heretical thing happened next
What the fuck?
week on Swagwictus Bizarre Adventure.
Okay. To be continued, guys. Okay, did Hrothgar throw after all? Honestly, the fact that it dropped a belt that no one can use is crazy. This is actually insane. His last words were, "Damn you, turtle!" Honestly, damn you, turtle. Fair thing to say. Fair thing to say. He killed the boss. Yeah, okay. He might have fucked up the previous room, but he killed the boss in the end. So I guess we give him the pass for that, huh? Do we? I don't know.